Welcome to sportsbookreview.com. I'm Flash. It's Serie A. It's week 26. Inter have gone. We wouldn't be able to find them if we'd got our binoculars out. They are absolutely sizzling, and I fancy they're going to go a little bit further towards the Serie A title tonight when they play Parma. Big games this weekend, but remember, the European competitions start again, so they could well be some dodgy old performances with one eye off of the ball or one eye on the potential goal. Now, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button and ring the bell. Ring the bell means we'll notify you and you'll never miss any content again. And that means that we've got Bundesliga coming up. Alex and Tan, they'll be with us. And then we've got the Premier League. And tomorrow it's La Liga. Monday, it will be Champions League. I can't remember whether I'm going to do Europa League on Monday or Tuesday yet. So, again, you'll need to subscribe so that I can let you know. Press a link in the description and that will take you over to the articles wrote by either Tan or Alex or even, let's think, Martin, sometimes Eric, who's obviously at Oblivion Sports. Now, go over and there's plenty of meat on the bone for you. Also, this is a bit of a pain in my heart, this. Last year, I did nearly every college basketball game with the likes of Donny and Max, and we lost March Madness at the 11th hour. But not this year. It's March Madness. Esteban, what you got for me?
March Madness is just around the corner, and we at the Three Man Weave are here to tell you we have you covered. So make sure you subscribe to the YouTube channel SBR Sports Picks, Matthew, for all your video needs.
Jim, if you want more, that's not enough. SPR also has a dedicated March Madness headquarters. You can find picks, videos, news, and an updated bracket over at sbrpicks.com/March-Madness, Kai.
All you have to do now is sit back, relax, and let the games begin.
I was just asking how long that clip was because I couldn't hear it and I was really, really interested. Now, as I said, we've got Alex and we've got Tan. Alex looks a little bit different, but no one likes change. So we're not going to have any change. So for today, Eric, welcome. But you're going to be Alex, all right? Looks like you've lost a bit of weight. You look a bit healthier. Obviously, if you don't know that Alex had a bereavement in the family, very, very sad. And I know he'll be itching, but our thoughts are going with him and his family, and especially his good wife. Now, please, thumbs up. 14 of your thumbs up, 37 watching. No, not even close to 32%. Let's sort it out. Eric, Serie A. We love it every Saturday. We do the live show. What are you looking forward to this week?
Yeah, man. First of all, glad to be on the show here. Big boost to pill with Alex out, but I'll do my best. This week, Serie A, everything. I know, obviously, the big game this week is probably Juventus, Lazio, or Inter Milan and Atalanta. I probably would enjoy Inter Milan Atalanta a little bit more, but I think Juventus definitely need to get a win against Lazio.
But we've got a bit of a problem, though, Tan, haven't we, with Juve, because they are the prime candidates for having one eye on next week.
Why exactly so?
Well, we're going back into European competition.
It depends. It's two different mindset. Well, first of all, I hope I won't do much mistakes because I don't want to be punished as you did with Alex this week. We know that you are keeping him kidnapped in the cabinet and he's there knocking at the door asking to come out. And in fact, Eric, before you would join us, before the show, said, please help me because I don't want to get the same treatment from Flash. And I said, don't get out too much of the shadow, but stay a bit behind my winger because Flash knows how to hit on people, so he will think twice before hitting on you.
It's called tough love, Tan. It's just called tough love.
Were you giving that to the new teammates when they were coming in the team?
Yeah, listen, but you know what English humour's like, banter. If you're not slaughtering someone, then you don't feel loved, do you?
But were you leading that with new teammates?
Oh, yeah. Listen, I went into a dressing room when I was the youngest with 15 internationals, and you've got to come with your guns loaded and ready to fire back straight away. Listen, it's that. I'll tell you what it's like for those people that have not been at the top level of sport. It's like being in a classroom. If you go in and you show weakness in a classroom for the next 4 years, you're going to be picked on or found, because a lot of these people, they put masks on and they become people they're not. So if you show weakness, then you're in all sorts of trouble. I never showed weakness.
But what was the... Okay, I won't say the worst, the most entertaining joke you throw at something.
Listen, I could be here for a complete show on them. We used to cut the ends off people's socks so that when they put their sock on, their foot used to go straight through. Or we used to remember deep heat to warm your legs up before a game? We used to really cream it into the underside of someone's pants or boxer shorts. So obviously their balls are absolutely on fire. We used to cut the laces so that when you put a boot on and you pulled the laces like that, they came out in your hands. There was all sorts. We used to cut the hole out of someone's shirt, on the back. So when you put your shirt on, you do it up and out and you go out and you didn't realise that someone had cut a circle out of your shirt. So
Except your haircut, nice. I would say you look completely as Mario Balotelli. Totally as Mario Balotelli. The first glimpse you give is Mario Balotelli.
Okay, well, there's no records because obviously we're still waiting for Milan to get the job done at Parma. I also have found another bet in this game. I think it's Parma Inter draw, by the way, at half-time. Draw at the half-time. I think it'll be a tight game early on, and it's at plus 186. So get yourself involved in that. But I do think that Inter will definitely run out winners. I mean, the best way to look at the Inter, their pace will exploit the space. There's my little bit of poetry for you on a Thursday morning. Right, let's crack straight on because I like this team, and one of the teams are going the same way as Crotone. Tan, I come to you. It's Spezia at plus 120, draw plus 255, and Benevento at plus 240. Kicking myself because I went for Torino at plus 140 yesterday, didn't press the button, and they cruised.
You mean Verona?
Sorry, Verona. Yeah, Verona.
Yeah. No, because I was thinking, wait a second, maybe I am wrong.
Sorry. I've got Torino's a clue, though, of where I'm going.
Yeah. Well, what happened in the last match day, because it's better always to resume, because people can lose the track between all this fixture adding up. Spezia lost 3-0 to Juventus. Benevento lost at home 3-0 to Verona. But Spezia actually had a very decent first half against Juventus. Actually, they played much better than Juventus until Juventus scored. Then they tried to get back into the game. They exposed themselves and Juventus found the goals. But until the minute, let me say, 55, 60, they were much better than Juventus. Benevento, dreadful. Against Verona is not the first time it is happening. You won't remember, but approximately a month and a half ago, I said, in my opinion, Benevento in the next weeks, they are going to lose positions. They are going to drop positions, drop points, because they overachieved in the first half of the season. And their dimension is to fight for relegation, not to be there at the 10th position. So we have two actually that are completely at the same level. 25 points, which means being the +4, +5 over the third relegation spot. But with completely different performance. Benevento lost the plot. Spezia lost to Juventus in a respectable way, but are always giving their performance. It's true that sooner or later Benevento must wake up and get back into the game. Not yet, in my opinion, because exactly the way that Spezia lost to Juventus gave me good vibes about the fact how they are staying into this. So odds are good enough on Spezia at home to pick it, in my opinion. Spezia to win.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And the reason I agree that Spezia will win is because they keep going forward and they look to score goals. Benevento, they struggle to score goals. Anyway, also, let me give you a little bit of kudos, Tan. I don't want you to answer, just maybe just shrug it off. Did you not say that Genoa versus Sampdoria would be a 1-1 draw?
Yes.
Over to you, Eric.
Well, if we're looking at Spezia and Benevento, I just think we've gone for the Alex Classic here. I mean, I'm filling in for Alex. I look like Alex. I am Alex. So I'm going for the Alex Classic in this game, Spezia and Benevento. Now, I know Benevento have not scored a goal in 3 games.
There's your worry. They haven't
scored a goal in 3 games, and that is one of the main reasons I'm actually loving this bet, because there's no way to go 4 games without scoring a goal, especially against Spezia, who love giving up goals. They just want to outscore teams. So I'm going for the Alex Classic here, Spezia Benevento.
Yeah, well, let's hope it's a consolation. Like, let's hope Spezia are 4 up. Me and Tan are sitting having our little coffees, counting our cash. And if it is Spezia, then obviously Tan will be getting the bill. Okay, the next game I really like. I was really impressed with this side yesterday. It was Udinese at plus 140, draw plus 245, and Sassuolo at plus 210. Udinese, I love the fullbacks that are bombing on, even though they're up against a more, I don't know, experienced and talented side in Milan. But they took the fight to them. A little bit more luck, they could have been 2 or 3 up. And don't get me wrong, anyone who looks at the score and says Milan didn't play, Milan, they were at it. So, Eric, I like the home side here as well. And I think we're getting great value with the home sides this week in Serie A. And Udinese at plus 140, I think draw no bet. Maybe it's going to be like maybe minus 120. I don't see Udinese getting beat. Let's put it that way.
Yeah, Udinese, that was a good result against Milan last night, wasn't it? Last night, I think. But yeah, again, it's hard to oppose the Udinese these days, especially at home. They're playing pretty well. But I don't know. Personally, what did you say? Udinese double chance?
I said you could have both. You could go with Udinese at plus 140, or you go with Udinese draw no bet. If you're going to go double chance, you're getting into the squirrel.
Yeah.
I sent you a thing yesterday, a little text asking for your picks, selections, knowledge. No squirrels.
No squirrels. Well, yeah, I agree with what you're saying. I just personally, I have a little soft spot for Sassuolo, so I do. So it's just one of those games.
Why do you have a soft spot for Sassuolo? Because they score goals?
I don't know. I just I kind of like them a little bit, and I know when people say when you're sports betting you're not supposed to like teams and all, but I personally have a soft spot for Sassuolo, and I usually don't really like opposing them. And what are they? They're plus 190 to win this game.
Plus 210 in places.
Plus 210. Wow. I mean, yeah. I personally I'd be having a little bit of Sassuolo of double chance on personally my end.
Excellent. And the way your record's been going recently, that gives me even more confidence on Udinese. Tan, Udinese were decent, weren't they?
Yeah, but I would put that in context with Milan. So Udinese drew at Milan, Sassuolo drew at home against Napoli. 2 completely different games. Milan-Udinese 1-1. Udinese went to San Siro to do their defensive game, which doesn't mean just sitting back and wait. It was
no, they were good on the counter as well.
Exactly. It was
they were dangerous.
Defensive, but keeping anyway Milan far from the box. It's not like Milan had an amount of chances, just very few. So Udinese were very composed. They considered the draw only at 5th minute of stoppage, 5th minute.
And by the way, is there a steward's inquiry into that, by the way? I'm not seeing. I thought either the lad must have been pushed. The ball was 3 foot above his head, and he's almost started playing volleyball in the 95th minute. It was crazy, Tan.
It was. He had a little push from behind. So there could be
why didn't VAR get involved?
Because if referee is judging an episode, the VAR can get involved. So, but anyway, it was a little bit pushed. But my opinion is that the defender thought that the referee would give that foul, and so he just went grabbing the ball. You know where when sometimes a player is getting a push from behind while he's running, and he's just grabbing the ball, thinking, he's gonna whistle the foul. He overthought, he was overconfident about that, but he wasn't. Actually, it was a foul that could not be given. So he acted pretty stupid. Sassuolo, though, was completely different. Completely open game, one way to another, box to box. In the last 5 minutes, could happen everything. Napoli was up, Sassuolo was up, they ended up with a draw. The way they perform is even different. Since Sassuolo 2 weeks ago, had back Berardi, their performance completely changed. Now they have the low building up from the box as it is in their style. They gained back pace. They gained back being threatening up front. Completely different stuff. While Udinese, we know they always have this flat standard of performance. No ups, no downs. In my opinion, anyway, considering how Sassuolo are playing now, the game, they will it will be up to them to open the game. So both teams to score, but for the way Sassuolo played yesterday, in my opinion, and for the fact that maybe Udinese could feel like they accomplished the task by not coming out defeated from San Siro, so Sassuolo will actually be more hungry. So I would go with the combo, very rich. Sassuolo to win, combined with both teams to score.
Wow, that'll be massive.
Oh.
The big thing for me when I looked at this game and I was watching it intently was the pace, the energy, the composure of passing the ball in tight areas. They never got away from their game plan, and this is Udinese we're talking about. And I think they would have gained a lot of confidence knowing that they more than matched one of the top sides in Serie A. But listen, let's move on, because I tell you what, Tan, Juve minus 120, draw at massive plus 275, and Lazio at plus 345. I cannot split these sides. And what happens when you can't split them? You go for the draw, and the draw at plus 275. I think it's a very tight game, Tan.
We agree with that.
Yes.
Look, so what happened? Juventus won 3-0 against Spezia. The second half was maybe the best half of game Juventus played in 2021. But Spezia is someone that is always playing open and widely, no matter who they have in front. Lazio haven't played. So Lazio had the chance to rest. Their game was postponed due to COVID cases with Torino. The last game on cards that they played is that burning defeat against Bologna last Saturday. But all in all, you should keep in mind that Juventus are getting into this weekend thinking to what will happen 4 days later, the return leg against Porto. And it's all about that game. If Juventus get out against Porto, their season is going to go in a downhill. If the Juventus are still in Champions League, they have just done what they have to do. But the fallout, if they go out against Porto, will be massive. And you can be sure that not all, but some of them will save energy thinking about Wednesday. Also, they might recover Bonucci and Quadrado on time for this game. But if they recover them, they recover looking into Juventus Porto. So obviously a player that has been injured in the last 3 weeks and is back won't just give it all in this game. Lazio need to play tight. Also, Juventus always suffered the way Lazio play. Always. This season, they had a draw in the first half of the season. Last season, they had one draw. They lost in Rome, and they won at the very last minutes in Turin. They lost the Italian Super Cup to Lazio. They suffer a lot, this how Lazio play tight, this wise counter-attack, this 3-5-2. So the draw, in my opinion, is absolutely on cards. And at a certain point, Juventus, let's say by the last 20 minutes, could feel like, okay, we can't die on the pitch, because in 4 days, they will start as a normal game, but maybe they won't end in the same way.
Draw at the halftime. I've gone with draw full time.
No, I go with no, sorry, draw full time. I went.
No, I know that. I hadn't finished.
Okay.
Alex, Juve versus Lazio. Why do you keep smiling, huh?
Eric.
I'm just happy today.
Exactly. So you should be. Not everyone gets an invite onto this show. Serie A is the #1 show around the world, you know.
Oh, well, we all love Serie A.
Exactly. Well, tell me about Juve and Lazio then.
Well, look,
will there be cards?
Oh, will there be cards? I mean, you know me, Flash. I love the back cards. So I love back cards, and Lazio love to get their fair share of cards. So they do, and so do Juventus. So, I mean, look. Personally, in terms of this matchup, I think just Juventus is actually an okay value. What are the minus 115 to win the game? Roughly about that. I actually think Juventus have a decent chance to win this game at home. Now they're 6-0 in the last 6 home games, and I know what Tan is saying. Lazio have caused them problems recently when they've come head to head. That is the one thing that's kind of worried me. And then you have Juventus looking ahead to Champions League and all that crack. So. Yeah, I do like Juventus, but I agree with you, boys. I think a draw could be on the cards, and go back to the cards just in terms of bookings here, Flash. I think both teams see at least 2 cards.
All right, let me throw you under the bus a little bit here. What players would you be interested in for individual yellows? Because I know that that's definitely your forte.
Oh, well, Juventus, you have to be looking at Danilo nearly all the time.
He's garbage. Yeah.
Danilo, and another Juventus player that is big on big on cards is Rabiot, is it? You know, the French guy, is it? Rabiot likes a few cards himself. Recently, Ramsey's been getting a few cards. I don't know if he'll be starting this game. And if you want me to talk about Lazio, literally just anyone, because they are liable, just the whole team, basically. Lazio, any of the wing backs or the midfielders for Lazio.
Okay, let me just digress a little bit because I watched that many games yesterday. I spotted a massive yellow card candidate in Ligue 1, which we don't cover, but obviously I need to have knowledge all across Europe because obviously the Euro champs are coming up. And the right back for Lyon, Dubois. No. Any type of play, he is in all sorts of trouble. So if you're going to do individual yellow cards and you want to have a little go, Eric, put it down. Little note for you. Dubois, the right back for Lyon. The left back's not much cop neither, to be honest. All right, let's move on.
When you pronounce French, you sound like Ricky Gervais.
I am honestly.
I thought
when I do my ooh la la and that, and because obviously I knew Eric Cantona. Yeah, I sound.
Oh, you know him?
Well, he came to Sheffield Wednesday. I used to pick him up in the mornings. So yes.
Seriously.
Exactly. Listen, we don't like to name drop, okay? I know you.
Come on, do name drop. You can do name drop.
Did he play for
Roma? Go on, Eric.
Did he play for? I seen a joke on Twitter yesterday, like soccer players that played for clubs that like no one knows that, like, you know, forgets that they played for that club. Did he play for Sheffield Wednesday?
He came on trial. He came on trial at Sheffield Wednesday, and basically it was snowing, so we had to play indoors or we had to play on AstroTurf. The man was absolutely top class, and I mean real top class. And Trevor Francis said, look, can you stay for another couple of weeks? Because obviously the snow's going away and we can have a good look at you on grass. He then said no, because he was Eric. And on the way to the airport, he got a phone call from Howard Wilkinson. And Howard Wilkinson said, we'll sign you. We don't need to look at you. And the rest is history.
Can I ask why you didn't sign him straight? You know why he came to England? Because
well, to be fair, they had a young striker at Sheffield Wednesday who they were hoping would go on and possibly play for England. So there was like no need to bring Eric in when we had the likes of David Hurst, Mark Bright, Paul Williams, Paul Warhurst, and obviously this young striker.
May I say, you know why he was coming to England, Cantona, right?
Yeah, of course, because he fell out with everyone in France.
Exactly. So it was a lucky chance to grab. Just say, you stay here. We pay you whatever you want. I mean, seriously, they could sign Cantona and they said, give us 2 weeks trial.
Yeah. Well, he turned around Manchester United. He absolutely turned them round. He was the final piece of that jigsaw in that great squad that they had there at Old Trafford. Anyway, let's move on. Roma, minus 225, Eric. Draw plus 380.
You will be back. By the way, you will be back on this anecdote. You will be back. Just hint by hint in the next time. Sorry, go on.
Genoa plus 750. Am I mad here? But I'm going with Genoa again at double chance. And I think it's going to be around plus 150.
Wow.
Eric?
Genoa plus 150, double chance against Roma. I don't know. I like Roma at home. Roma have just solid at home. And as well as that, they lost their last home game to AC Milan. So when do you ever see Roma lose twice at home? Do you know what I mean? But then again, what did you say, Genoa have double chance? I mean, double chance.
It's on my official pick, so just wait until the end. All of a sudden, you've now become a guest on my show who's turned into a viewer. Okay? You fancy Roma to get the job done against Genoa, do you?
Yeah, I do. I think they get a home win here. They've only lost once at home this season with 3 draws.
The draw's good enough. I'll take the draw.
Yeah, well, I mean, you take the draw. Oh, I think what you have in your favour is Genoa have drawn 5 away games this season.
Yeah, because they're well organised, they're decent.
Yeah.
And that's the type of side that frustrates Roma.
Yeah, I mean, double chance is definitely the safest play, but if you're definitely playing outside the box, I mean, a sneaky little bit on Genoa.
Oh, okay, there you go. Plus 750. I mean, I really like Genoa. I know we got the 1-1. I've hit the post massively this week, Tan, but for some reason, I just like the way that they may well frustrate Roma. Roma not blessed with much pace, and Genoa they'll sit back, they'll take it. I see this game a little bit like earlier on in the year where it was Atalanta versus Genoa.
Maybe I'm confident about Roma because so far they have always been reliable, especially at home, with teams from of the lower half of the table, and we know they don't deliver with teams with the upper half of the table. It's true that Genoa have been absolutely, I'm saying, just to celebrate for what they have done since the new manager Ballardini took over. They came out of the derby against Sampdoria 1-1. Everybody happy or everybody unhappy, depends on point of view. But there is, it's not that I don't trust Genoa, but I trust more Roma. One way or another, they are always finding a way, not against big teams. Even when you see, okay, look, they consider stupid goals, they are having too many injuries, the fallout with Dzeko, but they are always getting out of difficulties when there is room for that, not against the upper half, the upper half of the table. And at home, they are absolutely clinical. So I would say both teams to score, because anyway, we know that Genoa, except the game against Inter, but it was 3 days before the derby, so maybe that was the motivation. Except the game against Inter, they never gave away a game, Genoa. So they will be into it. But Roma gives me good vibration, good confidence at home against a handball team, let's say. So I go with the combo, both teams to score and Roma to win, which too is very, very juicy.
Yeah, listen, whenever you get them combinations, then obviously you're going to get great value. Harry says, Dubois, who I mentioned from Lyon about the yellow card, 3 yellows in 27. Find a matchup. Find a team that's got a flying left winger. But also, I would just for a caution to anyone that likes to have cards in, I saw maybe 6 or 7, no doubt about it, yellow cards yesterday in the game against Rennes. And the referee didn't give any. I mean, there was yellow cards in the end, but that was for petulance. Proper fouls, elbows, and he gave nothing. So that's probably why you got 3 in 27. The bloke is absolutely dodge. Let's move on. I don't know how you can get involved in this game, Tan. Crotone plus 310, draw plus 250, Torino plus 100. And by the way, the thumb goes blue if you press it, and we need people to press it because we're still less than 50%.
I thought that when we were approaching the game of Crotone, you were going to say something. You were going to say something, possibly just as flew over your very shining head and you didn't catch it. But guys, once again, Tan Madness was flying over our head.
Tan Madness
went in. No, not about Crotone Torino. Wait.
Oh, okay.
The Tan Madness was flying over our head. And the Tan Madness went in. Atalanta Crotone. Do you remember what I said? I said
draw half time, Atalanta full time.
It was, I think, something like 4.50, so plus 550.
Yeah, they're saying
like
thank
that.
You in the chat. But get fish and chip paper now, because I think more impressive was the 1-1 draw you gave Genoa Sampdoria.
Thank you very much. Or the double chance home for Sassuolo.
All right, don't milk it, you know what I mean?
No, let me milk it as much as I have. But getting into Crotone, so this Crotone thing, how should we handle? It went exactly Atalanta Crotone as I thought. New manager, very defensive compared to the previous, very offensive. Tried to lock the fence in against Atalanta. He succeeded for the first half of the game. Then there was just too much Atalanta and he couldn't make it. Now against Torino, that we know they are fighter. We know they perform much better than Crotone recently, but they didn't play the last 2 games that were postponed to COVID. actually, we are pending for communications on this game, but so far in the last 2 days, there have not been no new cases anymore, so they might play. In this moment, it's more likely they will play than they're not. But still, they didn't train for 1 week. As it goes, 9 Torino players will be missing, including Belotti. And all in all, just imagine how is the mood within the locker room of fearing every 24 hours, 48 hours that new cases could spread. It's not exactly the right attitude to get into a game. And on the other side, you have this Crotone that will play for the first time at home with new manager, and that will want to give something to this new manager, will want to show something. So in my opinion, and looking at these odds, it's absolutely mandatory to go with home double chance. Crotone to win or a draw. Actually, if you feel risky, if you feel in a risky mood, you could go even with Crotone to win. But anyway,
surely that is tan madness on a different level, though.
Well, but there is ground for that. There is ground for that. Anyway, home
Torino,
double chance.
you must have been impressed with the way that Torino have been playing.
Yeah, I'm totally impressed, but that's not the normal situation, Flash. They haven't trained for 1 week. They are back to training.
So they're fresh?
1 day. Yeah, but what kind of freshness? What kind?
So are you telling us there's going to be players that are not going to be selected?
Well, 9 players are still with COVID.
But will they be playing? Was it precautionary, or were they all positive?
No, precautionary. 9 positive testing.
Wow.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Okay, all of a sudden, was Belotti one of them?
Actually, there is one rule that they can't call at the moment, because the rule says that if a team got 10 players testing positive, the club have 1 jackpot, 1 bonus in a season to ask to postpone the game. A jackpot Torino has not played yet, because last week.
Do you think that this game gets called off, Tan?
At the moment, no. If there are no more positive cases, no. If there is even 1 more, it might. Because, see, it's very... We were talking about that with Eric before the show. It's very sensible game. It's a direct clash. And it's not like, I don't know, Torino-Inter, Torino-Milan, that Torino could think, you know what, maybe even in a normal situation, we will lose that. Let's drop this chance. Let's keep the bonus for ourselves. This is a game where they would have a concrete chance to win. So if there is 1 positive case more, they actually would say, okay, you know what? Let's play the bonus and postpone this game.
Okay, I think it's probably a game we stay well away from, unless you love
double chance.
Yeah, I mean, Eric, it's got to be a game to stay away from, surely to God, because only a crazy man from Italy would go for Crotone double chance.
That kind of man that said, draw at the half-time Atalanta Crotone.
Can everyone watching this show at home, obviously, White Tan's going off about his winners, give it all. We'll blow his trumpet.
Is he a crazy man? Is a crazy man, or is just someone that is seeing farther than anybody else?
They say it's a fine line between
the fool on the hill.
Boys, I'm going even crazier than Tan. I think Crotone could win this game.
Oh, it's spreading. And you're from Ireland.
I think Crotone could win this game. I really do. I really do. I mean, what are they? Plus 300 nearly. Are they plus 300 to win the game?
310.
Ah, wow. I mean, if Torino are going to be like missing players, and
Nilo's saying it's now plus 280.
And Crotone just have a new recently have a new coach. Yeah. Oh, that's a spot for Crotone to get a win here. But another little bet that I actually do think has a possibility of coming in that game is over 2.5 goals. I don't know what the odds are on it, but I think we could see.
Well, listen, any game that Crotone are going to need to score, you're going to get decent odds.
Yeah.
Listen, I think if you've got... I don't think it's going to happen anyway. Torino plus 100 against Crotone, who can't score. I think this is maybe an unders game. But why would you even bother playing it? There's so much better fruit. Yeah. I mean, listen, the next game, Eric...
On double chance, maybe it's good.
Why will you keep going about that double chance?
Because I don't understand why you say, why would you even play in that? Actually, in my opinion, grab the chance of these odds until they stay.
Yeah, I know everyone in the chat saying that they've now dropped to plus 280. Rampage saying odds have dropped. That's because he read what Nilo said. Do your own homework.
Get on the Crotone train. Get on the Crotone train.
Okay. What about the next game then, Eric?
It's a slow train. It's a slow train. I can tell you. It's a very slow train.
Yeah, it's a flip of a coin.
Yeah.
No.
Fiorentina minus 110. Draw plus 265. Parma plus 340. Can't trust either of these sides. Could be under. 1-1 draw. Could also be 3-2. Eric.
That was literally my reply to you, Flash. I can't trust either of these teams. For me, this is just a complete stay away from this game. Do not bet in this game. I can't trust either of these teams. Especially with, like, look at Fiorentina. They've only won one of the last 5 games. And then you have Parma, who have 2 draws and 3 losses. No, not for me.
Okay. Tan, do you not think that Parma, double chance, right? And even though they're away, they're plus 340, so they're bigger odds than the last game we were talking, and you gave double chance. You don't think Parma have got a better chance than Crotone had against Torino?
Okay, look, first we are talking about this before they even play Parma Inter. So that is something to keep in consideration. Anyway, Fiorentina lost badly for the way they lost, not for the performance, but for the way they lost to Roma. Parma, twice in a row, considered a comeback from being 2 goals up. They are both in huge need of points, but they are both very dreadful up front. Now, as you said, this game could finish with no goals or 3-2. But considering that often when I've been saying that this season, it was the no goals or almost no goals option that was happening, I would go with under 2.5 goals. And actually, I have it also in my top 5 picks because none of them will open up because they know they are not compelled, they are not good enough. They know that in counters they can concede. And basically, they are pretty one on the middle of the other, a team on the middle of the other. So I think they will sit back a lot, under 2.5 goals.
Under, yeah. I mean, I do like the under, but again, Parma score most weeks. I mean, the 1-1 draw could well be on the cards and at plus 265. You wouldn't put anyone off the draw and maybe even draw at the half time. Big price this. Big price, Tan. Verona plus 330, double chance. Draw plus 260 and Ibrahimovic lacking Milan at minus 110 looks like a trap.
First of all, sorry, Levan, I think it's someone, some Georgian Balotelli is asking why Dybala is never playing. Well, he got a knee injury that is not solving. They went to visit several specialists across Europe, and apparently is not coming back the earliest at the end of March. So I wouldn't count on Dybala in any way. While Sinbad, who actually sent us $2, that I don't know in which safe box are finishing, is asking for a Tan madness. I told you already before the Tan madness. We talk about Crotone Torino, we talk about Juventus Lazio was not madness, but very high draw. Guys, stick to the screenplay, and also, I don't know, can we call that madness? But you mentioned the draw at the halftime. Well, I think that
I think draw at halftime is the way to go.
Exactly. Verona Milan draw at the halftime. So basically, Verona Milan are still without Ibrahimovic and Çalhanoğlu. Ibrahimovic for sure will be out. Çalhanoğlu, they will try to recover him. The thing is that for the first time, their performance was not acceptable because they have lost badly against Atalanta and Inter, but against Atalanta and Inter, you can lose badly. Yeah. Meanwhile, we are getting even more dollars from the others, from Sinbad. We are to $5, don't know where. They lost to Spezia. It could happen once that you get distracted. but it can't happen again after losing all those games lately at home against Udinese. So Milan will have to be very careful, and possibly they are also fearful because they know that Verona is giant killer. Verona is a totally giant killer. Only lost 2 games out of 9 against the top 8 teams of the table. Knowing this, knowing how Verona are intense, and yesterday against Benevento they just smoothly delivered, I think that Pioli with Milan will be particularly careful in the approach. So I say draw at the halftime.
Okay, draw at the half-time. I think that maybe both teams to score. I think the Alex Classic is probably on the cards here as well, Eric.
Yeah, definitely on the cards when Verona are at home and Milan are away. But I don't know, like Verona definitely scare me. Even though I've gone for AC Milan halftime, full time. They've won that bet 10 of their 12 away games this season. So they've played 12 away games, and in 10 of them 12, they've been winning the halftime, winning the full time. Now, I do know most of them games they've probably had the likes of Ibrahimovic and all. So that's definitely scares me. And Verona do scare me. They're a team I do like to usually back, like when they're playing against big teams. So I mean, even if you were to go, I do like what Tan is saying, draw halftime. I think Milan halftime, full time, but you could definitely cover yourself by going halftime draw and then taking Milan full time or Verona full time.
So would you say most goals second half?
Well, if you're looking at draw halftime, you'd have to presume so, wouldn't you? You'd have to presume maybe one goal.
This is what I'm saying. I mean, all of a sudden there's a plethora of bets available. So I mean, you look at it, you go.
Can you repeat that word for me, Flash? I was enchanted by the way you said.
Yeah, obviously, I was hoping you'd say that. It's a plethora.
Please. Oh, nice.
I mean, if you want to be really, really out there, you could really take draw halftime, Verona full time. That could be a big
I'm going with the Alex Classic, and can you believe it's plus 120?
Yeah, beautiful odds.
Yeah, they are beautiful. They are beautiful. Anyway, let's move on. Sampdoria plus 130. Eric, draw plus 255. Calorie plus 225. The boys got Calorie right this week. And Tan, as we've said, and it's starting to bore me now. Genoa 1, Sampdoria 1. Eric. And Eric, liven up, eh? Liven up.
Oh, sorry, Flash. I didn't realise I was so.
Sorry, I thought that's just me thinking I'm talking to Alex again. Sorry.
I haven't been getting any abuse, so I haven't had to. I'm just keeping quiet, while I haven't.
Okay, hang on. Everyone in the chat, start abusing Eric, please, to make him feel at home.
Yeah, that's more like it.
let's give Eric a plethora of abusing. Okay?
Exactly. There you go. You learn something new every day, Tan.
No, I knew that word.
A
plethora. It's the same word in Italian, plethora, because it's Latin. But the way you pronounce it makes me vibe.
Eric, don't listen to him. Sampdoria Calorie. Come on.
Sampdoria Calorie. This is I don't want to burst your bubble, Flash, but this is definitely another game I don't want anything to do with. Two teams that are just stay away of teams for me. I think Sampdoria. I don't even think this is actually a fact. I don't even think I've bet any Sampdoria game this season. I really don't. I'm nearly sure I haven't bet a single Sampdoria game. You have Sampdoria, what? They've picked up 5 points in the last 5 games. Cagliari have won their last 2 games. So you have to think it's going to be a bit of a letdown spot for Cagliari. That's my opinion.
Okay, yeah. I mean, the big thing is just pass. You don't lose anything when you pass. But Tan,
he never
on these games.
He never passes. Tan, he never passes. It goes straight on goal. Draw at the halftime on this. Semplici, the new Cagliari manager, has reshuffled belief in Cagliari. He possibly had also a good scheduling that helped him. Sampdoria, I think that psychologically gave a lot playing the derby. So I think that it will be a slow game, at least as a start. Anyway, both games that Cagliari won, they were 2 slow games. That's why draw at the halftime. I don't even look back. I'm pretty confident about that, I have to say. Let me
draw
also
at the halftime seems to be quite contagious in your picks.
No, it depends. This week you need to think about the midweek fixture that has involved everybody. And this means that many that can't handle this scheduling because they aren't playing European Cups will have trouble to play with a good attitude, with a good pace, the games. These are factors that you have to think fixture by fixture. Anyway, meanwhile, I have to say hello. Well, Sinbad, that actually is getting now to $5 Australian. He gave us, unbelievable, saying big love from Iraq plus Australia. Keep it up, guys. It reminds me a lot my Germany 2006 World Cup when I hitchhiked with, I'm not joking, with Iraqi refugees to go to the finals from, it was from Hamburg. We hitchhiked from Hamburg to go to the final and after beating Australia. And also, this is unbelievable, Matt Criley is saying tan cari saluti da Bari, which means dear hello from Bari, which is my hometown. And unbelievable because he's an English in Bari. I want to know everything about. Can we fix a live show with him to know about English people in Bari, like David Platt, for example, or Scottish Anderson? No. Okay, I tried, Eric. Let's keep going.
Yeah, you didn't try hard enough. By the way, don't always believe what you read because it says SBR here, Sports Picks. Don't know who's looking after that, but I will be finding out because it says, welcome home, Eric. We love you. Eric, do not believe a word. We do not love you, okay? You are a very, very unloved man.
I love myself.
Yeah, exactly. That's good. That's the only one you can rely on because we do not love you, okay? Don't start thinking things like that.
In a metaphorical way, when you said you love yourself, you meant in a metaphorical way.
On you. Okay, Napoli.
Eric, I was asking to Eric when he said that he loved himself in a metaphorical way. Listen, we're talking in a metaphorical way.
Hey, listen, George.
And anyway, not now.
Don't get me bursting into song. I'm getting myself warmed up now. George Benson, Great Love of All, one of the best songs ever. Napoli minus 165, very sloppy town. Draw plus 330, and Bologna at massive plus 510. Which Napoli turns up?
And the only thing we know is that the defensive mistakes from Napoli lately are just keeping going and going. Actually, I think they are downplayed more than they deserve. I think they are growing, but the environment is so negative, so sick around Gattuso. Every time there is a mistake, sack Gattuso. That's not good. And anyway, defensive mistakes keep going. So I think it will keep going. Bologna was nothing against Cagliari. Was really nothing.
Bologna score, Tan?
I say yes, and I say Napoli also scoring. So I say both teams to score.
So is this an Alex Classic waiting to happen? Or is this a Napoli to win?
No, just both teams to score. Just both teams to score. Just both teams to score. To undecided for the rest. Meanwhile, there is a cluster of Bari people that is blowing out. Well, Matt is saying is Americano in Bari, Dottore, but then there is also not only Matt, there is HDC saying Barese, my friend is from Bari, Salsicce Barese, Barese sausage. I didn't know that we had this community around the movement of David Platt joining Bari after the World Cup 90. It's unbelievable.
Hang on a minute. Sinbad, you pay $2 Australian, and this is like your third donation, and then you're saying stop bullying your guests. Bullying. It's called rough, tough love. You want to try it sometime. All this mamby-pamby, giving the donkey carrots all the time. You got to give him a stick. Get them going faster. That's the way it works. Napoli, Bologna, Eric.
Napoli, Bologna. Oh, wow. I see this as an under. I see under 2.5. What's it? Tancredi just said he's not mad about the Alex Classic in this, and I think we've seen unders. I think we've seen unders in this one. Napoli have to shut the shop, don't they? They've been allowing too many defensive mistakes, just like Tancredi said. They have to shut the shop. I think Napoli come into this game just looking to get the win. Just get the 1-0 win, come out with the win, 1-0, do the job. So I think
Are they that type of side, though? I don't think they can sit on a lead, can they?
No, not necessarily, but I think this is just a spot in the league where they play Bologna, and Bologna are coming off a loss. Napoli are coming off what was it, a 3-3 draw against the Swallow?
Yeah, and they took the lead. That tells you everything. And they took the lead in like the 92nd, 93rd minute, and then conceded a penalty in the 95th, 96th. I just, the only way that I love it when they're at it, Napoli, and I am cheering them on because I am a Gattuso fan. Okay, I want them to really do well, and I want him to turn it around, and I want him to like prove all them doubters wrong. But his team needs to be at it for 90 minutes.
What's interesting about Napoli, though, like you said, they don't really sit in league. What's interesting about Napoli is they've the lowest. They've drawn the lowest amount of games in the league. Of every team in the Serie A, they've drawn the lowest amount of games. So you're either thinking Napoli get the win or else Bologna get the win because Napoli don't draw games.
Tan, you educate me here. Was it Napoli that were 1-0 up with like 6 minutes to go against Spezia and Spezia won 2-1?
Yes, I don't remember if it was 6 minutes to go, but it was anyway.
Oh yeah, it was definitely 6 minutes to go because I was absolutely crying in my suit, and I'm still scarred. Okay, here we go. 63 thumbs up, 99 watching. That's not bad. So what are you going for, Napoli, Bologna? You're going unders?
I'm going unders. I'm going unders.
This could be a game for you with the cards as well, Eric.
Oh, I'm never mad about Napoli in cards. Never matter what Napoli in cards.
And yet they're so aggressive.
Usually, what I found is usually Napoli have one of the lowest card rates in the league. If we're going off stats, they have the lowest. They give out one of the lowest cards in the league, especially at home.
You know why, didn't you? The refs don't want to be giving them cards out to them Napoli boys, worrying about getting home. Okay, probably the biggest game now. I'm going to come to you last, Tan. Inter plus 100, Alex. Draw plus 275.
Eric.
Atalanta plus 270.
It is still Eric, by the way.
Eric, Alex, do I get?
It don't matter. They're all together. Look at them. They look like they could be twins.
It's like an exorcism, a possession of.
Yeah, do you remember Danny DeVito? Do you remember Danny DeVito and Arnold Schwarzenegger in Twins?
Of course.
Which one am I?
Which one do you want to be? What do you want to be? Danny DeVito or Arnold Schwarzenegger?
No, I'll be Arnold.
There you go. That tells me a lot about you. Come on, Eric. Inter Atalanta. I've got a job to do, so let's kick on.
Well, look, if we're going to be talking about Inter Atalanta and we're going to be talking about Alex, I'm going for the Alex Classic here. Inter Atalanta, both teams scoring over 2.5.
Gotta be, isn't it?
It has to be. But you know what I found was very interesting was only one of the last. I've literally picked out this just because it's the last one. One of the last 7 games between these teams, only one of 7 has seen Alex Classic when these two teams play. So that's just something to be wary about. But I don't know. Inter just.
Have I lost you? I've lost Eric, have I? No, you're back, Eric.
I'm back. Am I?
Yeah, you're back. Come on, keep talking.
Yeah, Inter have been defensive or solidly defensive lately, so they have. And Atlanta starting to hit their stride. But I think Atlanta just have to not come into this game and play for a draw. They have to come in and say, look, we're 7 points behind Inter for league title. I'm not saying they're going for a league title, but they 7 points behind Inter. We're hitting good form. Let's go at Inter, and we almost know Inter are going to score. So if Atlanta can get on the scoreboard, I think Alex Classic comes in no problem.
Okay, and I love it in the chat when they correct me and say Napoli would never never played Spezia. January the 6th. Okay, Tan. Into Atalanta.
If we look, there is an old way. If we look at the prestige, Juventus-Lazio is the game of the weekend. But there was an old way to say from what has been the most important, famous sports journalist in Italy ever that actually has affected football everywhere in the world because he's the man to whom we owe the definition of libero, regista, fantasista, terms that have also went over the borders, are used also in English everywhere. His name was Gianni Brera. He used to say the big match of the round is the match that is combining the most points between the two teams. So definitely then Inter-Atalanta is the first against the fourth. And I would go over and say the two teams that are playing the best football in Italy. There was also Milan in that group.
Chan, let me interrupt, please, sir, if I may. Do you think Atalanta catch Milan for third place?
I think that there is too much negativity on Milan in this moment.
So do you think that Atalanta, are they valued to be in the top three come the end of the season?
I would say Atalanta top 4. But see, Milan in this moment are bouncing down. But it was normal. First of all, Milan don't have the squad at the same level compared to Inter and Juventus. Second, Milan went on without losing for 19 games, almost. Even for Juventus, that would be a crazy pace. So you have to give it to Milan that this is their negative moment. Every team got it. Inter had that in October, November. Juventus had that in January. Now is the moment for Milan. They must to come out of that. But I think that at the moment, it's almost normal what's happening to them. And I think that Milan, after being eliminated by Manchester United, because they will be eliminated, they will bounce back in the league. Atalanta are anyway alive there and kicking. In my opinion, those are the top 4 that will go to Champions League. Inter, Juve, Milan, Atalanta. But anyways, I was saying, my opinion, the two playing the best football at the moment in Italy. And Atalanta, when they are facing this kind of games, they always go there to perform their football. They never betray their philosophy, particularly when they go in San Siro against Inter. Gasperini got a long time bitter and poisoned teeth when meeting the club that sacked him after 3 games. So he always wants a special performance. And this is in some way a kind of a general test before the return leg against Real Madrid. Not next week, that will be too close to the Real Madrid fixture, this one. In the last weeks, I've been wrong when I was saying that Inter would have conceded more goals. Many times they proved me wrong against Genoa. Again, it's unbelievable how much Antonio Conte has shut down and locked the defense. But against Atalanta, and an Atalanta that is free in mind and is scheduled to perform, it's difficult to get out of that.
What are you going for, Tan?
I don't get to the final outcome. It's too difficult to handle, but I go to the Alex Classic.
Okay, we're going Alex Classic. Esteban, get them picks up, please.
I was finishing. I know we are not late yet.
Eric's picks. Spezia, Alex Classic at +100. Juve, -115. AC Milan, half-time, full-time, +210. Napoli, under 3 goals at -130. And Inter, Alex Classic at -105. Tancredi, Spezia, +110. Inter, Alex Classic at -110. Even though I got 105 for Eric, I suppose I better give Tancredi, -105. Juve draw at +275. Crotone, double chance at -125. And Fiorentina, under 2.5 goals in the game at -125. Spezia, +120. Genoa, double chance at +150. Juve, draw at +275. I agree with Tan. Verona, Alex Classic at +120. And Udinese, draw no bet at -125. I really like the card this week. I think there's plenty value, plenty entertainment, but there's also plenty traps. I need a 2-team parlay. What's the one for you, Eric?
Oh, favorite player for me is probably probably is the Atlanta Inter game, Alex Classic.
Alex Classic, Inter Milan. And you, Tan?
Very difficult. This week, very difficult. I'm tempted to go with Crotone Torino home double chance.
You are one sick man.
Well, get on that.
You know why? Because it's the one game out of the 10 that I thought is completely crazy going anywhere near. But hey, it's up to you. You want to do the 2-team parlay? Then it's the Alex Classic, Inter and Atalanta, and the Crotone double chance versus Torino. Now, if you like this video, then please subscribe, press the button, ring the bell. Ring the bell means I'll notify you. Then you'll know that Bundesliga's coming up. Did you get a notification about Bundesliga, Eric?
I did, yeah.
Well, good. We'll see you again in a couple of hours. Also, if you press the link in the description, it'll take you over to articles wrote by, I believe, Eric is now learned how to write, and he does a bit for us. Tan, Alex, Martin, all the other sports that we cover here on SBR are all accompanied by articles. In the chat, 70 thumbs up, 95. Oh, not too bad, half decent. I'll see you again in a couple of hours for Bundesliga with these two. Nice, bright, and early. You take care.